Well, hello. We are at Washington State Park, historical Washington State Park. We are located right now in the Print Museum. My name is George Staples and I'm a certified interpretive guide. And I'm about to explain this press here. Presses like this serve to put out the Washington Telegraph newspaper. Now, when the printer had all of his type set into place, he set it in a frame on a flat surface. This frame here, called a chase, held all of the type in place. Now, all of your type, as you notice, is all backwards so that it comes out frontwards on the printed page. And it's held tightly into place by these little wooden blocks here that we call furniture. And we tighten it into place with a little T-wrench here. And those little gadgets that we tighten up are called coins, spelled with a Q, Q-U-O-I-N-S. Now with that all tightly into place, we take it over here, place it on this stack of paper, forms as a cushion. Now occasionally, if after the printer has tapped everything into place with the plane and the mallet, one of those letters sticks up a little bit, he's going to have to do a little fixing. Going to have to lift up the chase, locate the spot where the error occurred, cut a plug out of there with his pocket knife, let the chase back down so that letter can fall back down into that little hole. Now, the plug that he cut out of that hole is referred to as a hickey. On the other occurrence, the letter doesn't show up too well. Just a ghost of effect on the letter. It's going to have to do something to build that up a little bit. Well, a lot of your editors then chew tobacco. So he probably had a wad of tobacco in his tooth, and he let go with a wad of tobacco on the paper, put it right there where that letter was. Let it down, and it would push the letter up, solving the problem. So that when the proof copy came out, it was nice and even across the board. And that process was called a spit and a prayer. And then we take our paper here, and we get ready with a little bit of ink, and meaning a rather gooey substance, much the same texture of the tar that comes up out of the highway in the middle of the summertime. They spread it across this black ebony surface here called a turtle. And once that's spread out there on that surface, he takes a rubber roller that was discovered about 1839. Now you come across the surface of the turtle, getting a little bit of that ink coming across the print face, applying an even surface of ink. Add your paper. Quite an involved process this was. And it was usually done sometimes by a printer's apprentice. Little 14, 15-year-old boy. We'd have to grab hold of the devil's tail here on the printer, give it a pull. Crank it back out again. The entire process yielded about 60 copies an hour. Had to be rather careful bringing this paper off the surface. Now, that little view in the center, the imagery of a picture, was what they call cuts, 1.5 inches or larger. And some cuts could be as large as the entire page. Now, smaller than cuts, smaller than 1.5 inches, they're called bugs. Now, bugs 1.5 inches or smaller were usually just one item. So Something like maybe a tree or a flower or a shrub. Maybe the silhouette of somebody's head. Washington, Hamilton, Franklin, you know, the money people. Smaller than bugs are what we call dingbats. Now, dingbats, not being Edith Bunker or your mother-in-law, can be found on your computer. You go into something called clip art, and there's a category in there called dingbats. And this is a part of a series of lectures here in the Print Museum in historic Washington. And I would be glad to accommodate your interest here. Just pay us a visit. Thank you.